Welcome back to the Sedona International Film Festival 2020. I'm Tanya June Moore. Thank you so much to the Sedona Advertising Agency, Broadcast Rentals, and the Sedona Rouge for making this live stream possible this year. Oh, we have someone who is no stranger to the Sedona Film Festival back again. I love you so much. Please introduce yourselves and the films.
Well, my name is Alberto Ferraras. Hey, Alberto Ferraras, and I directed a collection of shorts called The Lessons. Mm-hmm. Should I say when, how, who? No.
Not yet. We'll get there.
Okay, we'll get there.
And my name is John David West, and I am in 2 of the lessons. Lesson number 8 and 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
And don't worry, not all of them are here. Because this creative, it takes, and it's wonderful that you take your time to do the right things because they're brilliant.
I'm blushing. No.
Why the Sedona Film Festival, Alberto? Go!
I think it was, I'm probably the luckiest person on earth. I was in a festival in New York, like having drinks with this girl, and I was like, oh, what's your favorite festival? And she's like, oh my God, the Sedona Film Festival. This is like 3-4 years ago, when we started doing the lessons. And I'm like, why? It's like, they fly you there, they feed you, and it's a super great festival that nobody knows about. And I tell you, part of me wants to tell everybody, and part of me doesn't want to tell anybody because, it's going to be harder to get in. And you guys have been so wonderful, so insanely. I mean, The Lessons is short films made with no money, 1 rehearsal. Each one was shot in only 4 hours. I mean, you guys take a chance on me, and you've taken a chance 2 years ago, last year, this year again, and the fact that you guys are showing all of them, well, so far, 8 of them, it's like I couldn't be more, I'm ready to suck up until, until next year. So hopefully you'll have me again.
We're so happy to have you back. And these films, people love them. People resonate with them so wholly. I think that they can't help themselves but want to see more and more and more, which is... Thank you for making really great films.
Man. I'm like, you guys appreciate them. I think one of my favorite thing about the festival, as I've said in the past, is that you go to, the fancier well, not fancier because nothing is fancier than here, but you go to some of the most, Sundance, let's say, or Berlin. I've been to both, and it doesn't feel like a community. It's not a community of filmmakers. It's not a community of film goers. Because everybody's trying to fighting to get into that party or that other party. When here, there's only one party every night, and it's fabulous, and everybody's there. All the filmmakers, all the film goers. So you actually get to hear what people think about your work, and that's what you're doing it for. It's not really like we're making a lot of money with them,
right? So
it's really to get to see if what we were trying to say was heard.
Yes.
That there's no price tag on that.
I'm going to talk to you in a second because I have lots of questions for you, but I want to watch the trailer first because I want everybody to remember who Alberto is.
Before we start, I want to remind you that the company will not tolerate discrimination, harassment, or bullying of any kind. Understood? So let's talk about the incident.
I was at the office holiday party.
Oh, holiday party.
And they were playing some reggaeton.
Oh, reggaeton.
And I was dancing with some friends and having a good time when this pervert started to rub his dick against my ass.
That is not true. I was dancing when she came over and started rubbing her ass against my dick.
I did not.
Yes, you did, and you were twerking.
Well, I have no interest in that tiny little limp dick of yours.
And you think I care about your flabby ass?
Flabby ass?
Stop.
Listen, this is embarrassing. How the company cares more about the men than the women.
Oh, should it care more about the women than the men?
The company only cares about the company. Duh.
Very funny movies with very intense lessons in them. How is it working with this gentleman?
It's intense, but it's fun. It's actually very fun, and I trust him completely. So I think that's why it works. He trusts his actors, and I think we have 1 rehearsal,
Yeah.
And then we go and shoot. So you definitely.
Do you like that?
I do. It's scary, but I mean, it made me work really, really hard. I knew my lines inside out, and I was able to go anywhere. Like, he started in any place, I was ready to go with the lines. So it's and it keeps it fresh. You know what I mean? So, like, we're not over rehearsed, and yeah. No, I like it.
David is in 2 shorts, in number 10 and number 8, and 8 actually is the one that's been invited to most festivals, and it's very. Have you seen it?
I have.
You think you have? Yes. Okay. Good. It's a little controversial.
Yeah.
But they all are in
their
very
own
cute
way.
way. Yeah. I think.
Well, it gets
It's
people
sweet.
thinking, and as he's directing you in these, what kind of direction is it that gets these performances from these actors?
I don't know. I mean, there was one moment where I was not giving you something you wanted the way I was saying it, and he just had me say it over and over and over and over again till it was driving me crazy. And somehow that got it. And I like that, just like he pulled something out of me. I don't know. It's just, I say my lines, and I mean, I have an idea of who my character is, obviously. I just get in and say my lines and go for it. I had no idea what it was going to look like afterwards, and I was surprised.
Well, and I think that's really one of your best attributes, is you make really good movies using actors to get what you want them to do in a way that you want it to be put across.
Well, I have a trick. Of course, my actors are not allowed to see this. You don't listen. Is that when they want to do something else, you're like, oh, that's great, but let's do it one more time the way I say it, and then I edit the films as well, so I end up using. But I tell you, very often, I mean, you can't. When you work with intelligent actors, they will suggest intelligent things.
Yes.
And sometimes it might not be exactly what you think it needs to happen, but in many cases they contribute enormously to the final product.
Are these lessons that you have learned, or just things that you've picked up over the years?
Usually stuff that has happened to me, or that I've thought, this probably happened. In this situation, this is the conversation that should take place. But more often than not, people are afraid of confrontation or to simply tell the truth about a certain situation. And, I swear to God, at the end of the day, they're all about love and coming together, even though the road to love and happiness could be a little rocky.
Yes.
But there's, I just want a better world, honestly.
Well, and I think what I gather from the ones that I've seen so far is, yes, at the end, we have this really rough conversation that's incredibly blatantly honest. But at the end, it's really about, hey, it's okay. I love you anyway, and it's okay for us to have differences.
But something, and then the first time you guys picked up a lesson, which it was number 2, which, maybe some people watching this remember, she's the therapist and the patient, and she needs to get laid, or that's what he says. It was very controversial. I thought that it was the kind of movie that not a lot of festivals would pick. And I ran into Patrick Schweiss at a party and said, why the hell did you pick my movie? And he said, oh, silly, don't you know, half the people in Sedona are retired psychotherapists. And I was like, oh. So you guys are an amazing audience for the type of work that I do, because everything I do somehow tries to explore kind of like the thoughts and desires that we don't dare expressing with each other, but we actually would discuss with a psychotherapist.
Yes.
So.
Well, I am so happy to have you back. I know that both of your shows are, if they're not sold out, they're pretty close.
Awesome.
You want to get there, do the rush line. You don't want to miss these, because they're just so well done, and I think they're very representative of what the film festival's all about.
I might have a couple of extra tickets. If somebody doesn't have a ticket and whoever gets to me first should be able to get it for free. Ha!
Ha ha!
A little
Look at that.
offer for your audience.
Alberto, is there a place online that people can follow you?
I'm a total Facebook whore, and and an Instagram, whore as well. So Instagram, Facebook, they're great places to find me, and LinkedIn. And if anybody who's very much into, getting involved in the process or being or executive producing, this type of work, absolutely. And if you need a good actor, this gentleman right here.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks both of you for being here. Enjoy this festival this week. We're glad to have you
Awesome.
and host you.
Yeah.
And stay tuned because another wonderful filmmaker will be here. These films are really great this year. Our hashtags are Sedona Film Fest 2020 and Sedona Film Fest 26. Stay tuned.